Imagine opening your banking app, adding up your debts, and realizing your money is not just low, it is below zero. That feeling can make your chest tighten fast. But here's the part most people never hear. A negative net worth does not mean you are broken, doomed, or bad with money forever. In many cases, it is the starting point before a major financial turnaround, and one small number can tell you exactly what to fix first. Number 1. What negative net worth actually means. Negative net worth means your total debts are bigger than your total assets. Assets are the things you own that have value. Debts are the things you owe. If you own a car worth $8,000, have $2,000 in savings, and owe $15,000 on loans and credit cards, your net worth is negative $5,000. That sounds scary, but it's really just a snapshot. It's not your identity. It's not your future. It's simply a math problem. Number 2, why this number feels so emotional. Negative net worth is not just a financial issue. It feels personal. You may feel behind, embarrassed, stuck. You may look at other people and think they figured life out while you're sinking. But net worth is a tool, not a grade on your worth as a person. A doctor with student loans can have negative net worth. A young couple with a new mortgage can have negative net worth. A recent graduate building a career can have negative net worth. This is more common than people think. Number 3, the simple formula you need to know. Your net worth equals total assets minus total debts. Assets can include cash, savings, retirement accounts, investments, a car, and maybe a home. Debts can include credit cards, student loans, car loans, personal loans, medical debt, and a mortgage.
Example: let us say you have $3,000 in checking, $2,000 in savings, $6,000 in a retirement account, and a car worth $9,000. That gives you $20,000 in assets. Now imagine you owe $4,000 on credit cards, $18,000 on a car loan, and $25,000 in student loans. That equals $47,000 in debts. Your net worth is negative $27,000. Number 4. Why beginners often get confused. A lot of people confuse income with net worth. They are not the same. You can earn a good salary and still have negative net worth if your debts are high. You can also earn a modest income and have a positive net worth if you own more than you owe. Think of income as money flowing in. Think of net worth as what is left after everything is counted. A person making $80,000 a year with huge debt may be worse off on paper than someone making $45,000 a year with no debt and steady savings. Number 5. The debts that usually cause the biggest damage. Not all debt hits the same way. High-interest debt is the one that can really trap you. Credit card debt is often the biggest problem because the interest can grow fast. Payday loans and high-cost personal loans can be even worse. Medical bills can add pressure. Car loans hurt when the car is dropping in value while the loan is still large. Student loans can be heavy too, but they often have lower rates and more flexible payment options than credit cards. So, if your net worth is negative, do not panic over every debt equally. Look at the most dangerous ones first. Number 6. Some negative net worth is temporary. This is important. Not all negative net worth is a disaster.
A person who just finished college may have student debt, but also a strong career path. A family that bought a home may have a large mortgage, but is building equity over time. Someone who started late may feel behind now, but can still make huge progress in a few years. The real question is not just, is my net worth negative? The real question is it getting better, staying stuck, or getting worse? That is where the story changes. Number 7. The first thing to do next. Stop guessing. Get the real numbers. Write down every asset you own and every debt you owe. Do not estimate wildly. Get actual balances. check account values, check loan statements, check your credit card totals. Then calculate your net worth. This step is powerful because fear grows in the dark. Numbers bring light. You might find your situation is better than you thought, or worse. Either way, now you can act. Number 8. Build a survival budget first. Before chasing investing goals or fancy money hacks, make sure your monthly money is under control. List your monthly income, then list your essential expenses like housing, food, transportation, utilities, insurance, and minimum debt payments. After that, look at everything else. Example, if you spend $300 a month on takeout, $120 on subscriptions, and $200 on random online shopping, that money might be the exact reason your debt never shrinks. A survival budget is not about punishment, it is about creating breathing room. Number 9. Start with a small emergency buffer. This surprises people. Even if you have debt, you usually still need a small cash cushion. Why? Because without even a tiny emergency fund, every surprise goes right back on the credit card. Then the cycle starts again.
Aim for a starter buffer. Even $500 or $1,000 can help. It can cover a car repair, a doctor visit, or a sudden bill without pushing you deeper into debt. That small cushion can protect your progress. Number 10. Attack high-interest debt with purpose. Once you have a small emergency buffer, focus hard on high-interest debt. Two common methods work well. The avalanche method means paying extra toward the highest interest debt first. The snowball method means paying off the smallest balance first for quick wins. Example, if you owe $900 on one card and $7,000 on another, the snowball method clears the $900 first. That can boost motivation. The avalanche method may save more money overall if the bigger balance has a much higher rate. The best method is the one you will actually stick with. Number 11. Do not ignore your credit report. When people feel overwhelmed, they often avoid looking at their credit. That can make things worse. Review your credit report and make sure the information is correct. Look for missed payments, accounts you forgot about, or mistakes that should not be there. Payment history matters a lot, so even if you cannot pay everything fast, paying on time protects you from extra damage. A bad report can make borrowing more expensive later. A cleaner report can help you recover faster. Number 12. Find one fast win. Big money problems need momentum. That's why one fast win matters. Sell unused stuff. Cut one major expense. Pick up a few extra hours. Pause one expensive habit. Negotiate one bill. Example, selling an old laptop for $250, canceling 2 subscriptions, and cutting restaurant spending could free up hundreds of dollars in the first month alone. That may not erase your negative net worth overnight, but it proves you are moving. Number 13. Grow income without building a fake lifestyle. A lot of people fix debt for a few months, then celebrate by spending more. That is how progress disappears. If your income goes up, try not to let your lifestyle jump up with it right away. Use raises, side income, bonuses, tax refunds, or overtime to hit debt and build assets. Example, if you start earning $300 more each month, do not instantly absorb it into random spending. Put that money toward your highest priority goal. More income matters, but keeping it matters even more. Number 14. Start building assets while cleaning up debt. This part gets missed all the time. Net worth improves in 2 ways. You reduce debts and you grow assets. Assets can start small, a savings account, a retirement plan at work, a basic investment account after high-interest debt is under control. Even consistent cash savings matter. You don't need to become wealthy in one move. You just need to stop standing still. Number 15. Track progress monthly, not daily. Don't obsess over your number every day. That gets exhausting. Track your net worth once a month. Watch the trend. A move from negative $25,000 to negative $23,500 is progress. It may not feel glamorous, but it means your financial position improved.
The goal at first is not perfection. The goal is direction, and direction changes everything. Number 16. When to get extra help. Sometimes the problem is too big to solve alone quickly. That's okay.
If you are missing payments, facing collections, drowning in high-interest debt, or feeling emotionally crushed, it may help to talk to a nonprofit credit counselor or a trusted financial professional. Getting help is not failure. It is strategy. The earlier you face the problem, the more options you usually have. A negative net worth can feel like a giant red stamp on your life, but it is not the end of the story. It is just the point where the truth becomes clear. Now you know what the number means. Now you know what to do next. And now you know that progress does not start when you feel ready. It starts when you face the math and make your first move. So be honest. Where does your money stand today? And what is the first thing you would fix if your net worth was below zero?